The Young Volunteer of the Year Award recognizes outstanding leadership and service in the community from an individual 21 years of age or younger who has a significant record of volunteerism. This year's Young Volunteer, Grace Gallant, is the founder of Grace's Graceful Dancers. The program provides free dance classes for young children from underserved neighborhoods. It seems that Grace didn't like the idea that a parent's ability to pay stood in the way of children who wanted to take dance lessons. Now in his third year, Grace's Graceful Dancers coordinated with Gigi Playhouse Annapolis to provide dance instruction to children with Down syndrome and to their siblings. Gigi's Playhouse program chair, Florence August, shared with us, Grace is driven by what she can do for others, something very generous at her age. She has been a volunteer who is led by her heart and is much loved by the young pupils. Grace is a Key School senior. She volunteers at Arundel Medical Center and with the Make-A-Wish Mid-Atlantic. Babette Lashinsky, the foreign language chair at Key School, says this of Grace. When she sets a goal, she's going to reach that goal. It's really quite remarkable to see that in a high school student. Grace was nominated by St. Mary's Parish, where she is an active volunteer. I think her parents selected a wonderful first name for this woman. Let me introduce to you our 2019 Young Volunteer of the Year, Grace Gallant.
It is truly an honor for me to be standing here as the recipient of this Young Volunteer of the Year Award, and to share the stage with these distinguished honorees who have made such a difference in our community. I would like to thank the Community Foundation of Anne Arundel County for this award, and am humbled to be honored by this amazing organization that has had such an impact on our county. Before I share with you my personal experience with some of the great organizations in the county, I want to personally thank Ms. Barbara Rolland of St. Mary's Church. Ms. Rolland, who has been in my life since she first taught me religious education in 2nd grade, nominated me for this award and has been an inspiration, providing me with so many volunteer opportunities that have made my faith personal and meaningful. My work with Ms. Rolland at weekly masses has had a huge impact on my faith, which has in turn inspired a lot of my other volunteer work. Next, I would like to thank Ms. Judith Coe of Gigi's Playhouse for supporting my nomination. I am so grateful to have found Gigi's Playhouse because it is truly an incredible place. Ms. Coe's confidence in me has allowed me to grow and mature as a dance instructor, but also, more importantly, has introduced me to a group of families that have changed my life forever. My work at Gigi's Playhouse started as just dance instruction, but thanks to Ms. Coe and all of the other volunteers and participants in the community, I now feel forever connected to the Gigi's Playhouse family. The final person who supported my nomination for this award was Mr. Brian Michaels, the principal of my high school. I would like to thank Mr. Michaels for his support of my organization, Grace's Graceful Dancers. He was an integral part of turning my dreams of teaching dance and helping disadvantaged children into reality. In the news, you often only read about teenagers and young adults who cause problems, but there are so many young people in Anne Arundel County today who care deeply about helping others and want to live in a society that cares for everyone. So, before I explain my personal volunteer experience, I would also like to acknowledge that my peers are maturing into a productive, compassionate, and philanthropic-minded generation. Personally, I realized the importance of volunteering when I was diagnosed with a permanent hip injury in 2016 that abruptly ended my competitive dance career. Initially, I was angry and felt as if I had wasted years of intensive training. I was beyond disappointed. However, my injury turned out to be a blessing in disguise because several months later, I was in my old leotard again with 6 5-year-olds in ballet slippers and tutus wrapping themselves around my legs. My injury inspired me to start my own organization called Grace's Graceful Dancers, which provides dance instruction for children who are economically disadvantaged or intellectually disabled. Having taught these young dancers, many of whom have Down syndrome or autism, for more than 2 years now, I could not imagine spending my free time doing anything else. In the last 2 years, I have become a better teacher, more patient, and far more organized, but running my classes was not easy at first. Some dancers even refused to dance for the first several sessions. It was frustrating, and I was not sure I would ever break through their resistance. Yet, after many hours of internet research and conversations with healthcare professionals, I became more confident in my teaching strategies. The dancers finally warmed up to me, and more importantly, they fell in love with dance. When I overheard them complain that the lessons were over, I felt more amazing than when I was center stage, dancing in competitions. I even remember one day, one of the dancers leaving the class, giving me a big hug and saying, "I love you." My injury has been invaluable. I have learned that passion can be harnessed in many different directions, and that it is as rewarding to inspire others as to focus on personal achievements. That little girl telling me that she loved me was a moment I will always cherish. However, what I actually think she meant to say was, "I love dance," and that to me is even more meaningful. Thank you again for this honor.